Brought to you by...
Hey friends, today I'm watching Cabin Fever 2, where now I get to see the flesh-eating virus that consumed a group of hapless college kids back in 2003 return to crash a high school prom in director Ty West's gore-drenched sequel. The Lost star Mark Center joins a cast featuring Larry Fessenden, Giuseppe Andrews, Mark Borchardt, and Ryder Strong, who seems to have successfully sweated out the original case of cabin fever. Funny that the synopsis focuses on the dickhead boyfriend of this movie rather than the main character. Though, I guess he is played by Noah Segan, so... Anyway, here we go. What the fuck did I just watch? What's up, friends? Welcome back to Self-Isolation as we unfortunately discuss Cabin Fever 2, Spring Fever. This one immediately turns the wackiness of its predecessor up to 11, with an explosively bloody opening sequence that bleeds into a strangely animated opening credit sequence. For some fucking reason. In fact, the entire goal of this film seems to be to bring the concept to a new level of outrageous by unleashing the virus on an unsuspecting high school prom. Honestly, they could have had a worse idea for continuing the series. Taking it in this direction definitely ups the stakes and the levels of gore, while aiming for that whole more guts, more gore, more tits way of doing things. I kind of look at this as if West took the same approach he would if he were making a Friday the 13th sequel, which at the time of this release, I do think was a cool way to look at it. Somehow this one looks like it was made for about a quarter of the $1.5 million budget of the first one. I mean, it visually looks like it was made by someone who has never made a movie before. So when compared to West's other works, it seems like something must have gone horribly wrong. He himself has stated in interviews that this is the one film he wishes he could have stricken his name from. However, he could not go into detail regarding what went wrong. The early moments of the film drag on excruciatingly long, introducing us to our fresh-faced young teens, all of which are pretty fucking unlikable, which I guess does match the first one quite well, and our returning cast in the form of the fucking party man Deputy Winston. Believe it or not, Ryder Strong supposedly reprises his role as Paul from the original film, although I believe that he may have been credited based solely on flashback clips alone, since his character only actually appears in the opening moments of the film under heavy prosthetics shot from angles that you can barely see his face, and gets quickly splattered like a water balloon by a bus. This one works in its homages, much like the first, giving us moments reminiscent of Carrie and John Carpenter's Halloween. The gore and special effects are pretty well maintained throughout this one, however, they do push the gross out factor much further and aim to make you squirm and dry heave. Honestly, this one seems to try very hard to weave threads together that will spark some form of caring for its central characters, mostly through use of a love triangle subplot. But for me, this fell flat on its face when held up against the film's almost zom-com tone. In all seriousness, I don't have a lot of good to say about this one. I think Ty West is an incredible director, but this doesn't feel like one of his films. I don't think anyone's performances are necessarily bad, but I don't care about any of the characters in any real way. Deputy Winston's subplot feels shoehorned in and goes absolutely nowhere. Larry Fessenden is literally in one shot of the film. Honestly, there just is nothing special about this one. It doesn't feel like it was a script that warranted being made for any other reason than to try to cash in on what success the original had. I'm giving Cabin Fever 2 Spring Fever a D+. Guys, just fucking avoid it. Avoid it like the flesh-eating plague that it is. It's not worth your time. Skip this one. I heard the next one's pretty good. Hey friends, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video and you would like to see more like it, please consider supporting ETF on Patreon, where every pledge is put right back into this channel to help make new content for your enjoyment. But that's gonna be all for now. Until next time, stay safe and keep embracing film.